Alright, today I'm going to make a video about if you have a Husqvarna or a Craftsman lawnmower, because Husqvarna makes lawnmowers for Craftsman, and you have a broken mount that connects to your transmission or transaxle, whichever you prefer to call it. Now, your first symptoms of this cracked mount is probably going to be what you would think of like a stretched out drive belt. The mower may have unsteady speeds, may have issues going up hills, or simply just may not respond. And you're probably just going to put a new drive belt on it because that's what you're used to. Well, that's what I did. Put a new drive belt on it, and well, that extra tightness, even though drive belts really aren't that tight on lawnmowers, it not being stretched out allowed a little more force to be applied to it. And that finished off the job and completely broke the mounts. And I'm going to show you those broken mounts. So this is the left-hand side if you were sitting on the lawnmower, and it completely sheared off. So I didn't have to cut this. This was actually just a complete shear off. This is the right-hand side, which didn't shear off. It actually twisted right there. It just started to peel itself. But that I did cut off. That's from an angle grinder. You can kind of see the thickness of it. And these are your torque strap mounts. They connect to the side of the frame towards the front of the transmission. Those were broke off. Those were not for me cutting. Those were just snapped off. This is the left-hand side. All right, so how do you fix this? Now look, this broke on a Saturday evening after putting drive belt on it. I was frustrated, and well, I bought a new lawnmower. I'm actually going to give this lawnmower to my parents. I've had this for 5 years. It has about 250 hours on it. Okay, and that's the model over there, YTH22V46. Probably one of the most common Husqvarna lawnmowers out there. All right, so how do you fix it? Well, you're going to need a kit, and this is the part number right here, 437498. Now, you're going to see there's two different types of kits. You have the vertical drawbar, which is what this is, which is basically a flat rear end, and it shows you the part 437498, which is what this part is. And you have a sloped drawbar. Big difference. Shouldn't be hard to tell the difference. And that's 437497. The difference in the piece is that the slope drawbar has a total of only 4 holes in the bracket and it's shorter versus this is taller and has a total of 6 holes. And there's some instructions, but the instructions that it's come with are crap. They're not photo printed well. And it shows you have to remove the transmission transaxle, and you don't have to do that. I'm going to tell you what you have to do to fix this, and it's fairly easy. If you're mechanically inclined, you had your tools laid out, you could do this in an hour. If maybe you're like, not the best at working on stuff, but still comfortable doing it, maybe 2 hours. And I even think a complete person who's not that great at all could probably do it, at least within a day. It's fairly easy. You don't need a whole lot. All right, so let's get into replacing everything. So, all right. So maybe your mount has completely sheared off, like mine did on this side, or maybe it's just cracked. Well, if it's cracked, you're going to have to cut it, and you're going to cut it right where the bend is with the angle grinder. Just slice it off. So, all right, your parts are removed. How do you install this? Well, I would recommend doing one side at a time, or if both sides are broke completely, put some type of support underneath the transmission. And then what you're going to do, you want these brackets removed, which mine broke off. I had to replace them anyway. I'm going to get into these brackets because this does not apply to all mowers, and it was very hard to find this as a replacement part. And I'm going to tell you how I found it and show you what Husqvarna shows that exists, which does not exist on this mower, and even what the parts diagrams show, which also doesn't exist. So we'll get into that a little bit later. So this hole here, and I notice there's 6 holes, and I believe they did this because there's probably different applications based on wheel height and such. Um, they cover a wider range of applications. So basically, this hole here already existed, and that's what you're using. You're going to put your bracket on it and then run the nut through, the bolt through, and then put the nut on it. So that's on, that hole's already there. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to connect this to the transmission. Those are 6 holes, and that just has to do, this transmission covers a wide range of mowers, and based on how wide the wheels are, it's where it would be. So on this 46-inch cut mower, it's in, holes there, and there's holes here. So that's where it's at. And then you want kind of everything kind of tightened down, including that bracket over there. Everything's kind of tightened down. And this positions it where you need it to be. And this is where you got to take a 3/8 drill bit, drill through here. Wasn't that hard. It took me like a minute with a DeWalt drill bit. Run that nut through, run that bolt through, tighten everything down. Repeat on the other side. And basically, you're done. That's all there is to it. Nothing crazy. No crazy tools required other than maybe an angle grinder. I guess you could go with a hacksaw too, or a Dremel or whatever, and a drill bit and a drill. That's basically it. The sizes range between 13 millimeter and 14 millimeter. That's it. 2 size sockets is basically all that you need. All right, let's get into the hard to replace, well, not hard to replace, hard to locate parts. And it's these brackets here. Now these brackets are called torque straps. And you notice, luckily, it's a miracle, the part number is on the back. If it wasn't for this part number being on the back, I never would have, guess what, found these tools. Parts. So, put the part number in, put it on Google, found a supplier on eBay. I got both of them shipped for under $15. Super cheap. And put them on and replace it because they broke. And this is the right hand side, and you'll notice these things are so dirty. RH, right hand, and there's the part number. Now Husqvarna shows a different part exists, and that was a big issue of having to locate stuff. Alright, so we'll get into the instructions here. And, there she is. Torque strap. That torque strap is like basically bolted to a part of the frame, and it bolts to the transmission. Well, that part doesn't exist on this mower. And it's also what it shows in the parts diagram for this mower, but like I said, it doesn't exist on this mower. Those side straps do. And it shows these bolts about the self-tapping screws being installed into the transaxle. Don't use them and use the supplied screws. Once again, this doesn't apply to this mower because I don't have that bracket. There is no bracket that is screwing into the front of the transmission. And I'll show you those little replacement bolts that it comes from. So in case you do have this, for some reason on your mower, it does come, and they're stripped out. It does come with replacements. Also, you notice there's a new fan. That fan mounts on top of the transaxle. It helps blow air over it. That's new. It's held on by a snap ring pliers. The snap ring pliers I have are too big for it, so I ordered some really cheap, like miniature size, small ones. And once I get that, I'll pop that clip ring off, a snap ring off, and replace it. But more likely, if your mount has broke, it lifts up on the transmission, and there's a bar, it's a support bar that sits directly over top of it. It's going to rip all the blades off. I suggest you replace that, clean up your transmission so you don't cook this thing and overheat it. That's its purpose, is to move air over it. Let's get into total cost. So the bracket here ranges from $30 to $40 depending on the day and who you get it from. You get it on Amazon, eBay, parts supplier, wherever you want, but $30 to $40 shipped. Those torque strap brackets, we'll say $15. They're a little less than that. We'll just say 15. So we'll say we're at 50. That fan's about $14, $15. So we're at 65, and that's basically your cost to replace it. Any type of tips I'd give you, you're going to need the mount to knock the darn tire off. It's going to be rusted. Put anti-seize or grease on it so it can slide on and off. well, at least make it easy so you have to slide it. It goes on very easy if you use some grease, which is actually recommended to use anti-seize on this shaft. There's a keyway here. Make sure that keyway's there. You will drive yourself insane if you put your tires on and wonder why stuff doesn't work. Okay, there's no bolt that holds the tire to this shaft. That keyway is what connects inside the wheel, and that's what allows it to turn. So you have to have that keyway. These are held on by a little E-clip. E-clips are very easy to take off with a screwdriver and knock right on. They'll probably be on the loose side. I recommend taking some pliers and re-squeezing that a little bit, just tighten it up just a little bit, so at least there's some tension. I feel like it's holding on, so it's not super loose. Just remember where everything goes, but I mean, really, you could do this in an hour, and maybe this video will help you even cut that even shorter. You only having to drill one hole. Everything else is just a matter of lining stuff up, and lining stuff up won't be an issue if you connect it to this hole first. Make sure that's connected, connecting this to the transmission, and then drilling that hole, and everything kind of just self-aligns. If for some reason one of your wheels is rubbing against the frame, maybe one wheel is too far, you can loosen these up just a little bit and knock them with a mallet, and there's probably like 1/8 of an inch of movement. You can go on either side, left or right. But other than that, really easy job. And if you have any questions, concerns, whatever, just leave a comment. Try to help you respond to it. And you know, whatever you need. And hopefully this will help somebody, save you some time, save you some money, save you some frustration. If you order the parts on Monday, maybe get them by Friday, you do the job on Saturday, you can be on Saturday or Sunday. It's really not that hard to do. It's just a matter of knowing where all the parts are and just getting everything you need in your hand to do the job. And once you do, it's easy breezy. Y'all have a good day.